what is going on? What's going on? All right. This is, well, we need to do the announcements. Like all day I've been working. Well, let me explain to you what I'm doing. Instead of doing the courses piecemeal, like tomorrow, I probably got to put some finishing touches on the business credit course. There's a few things I got to do. And tomorrow, I'm going to be working on the corporate banking and why you need to start an LLC. And then we're going to get back to the online classes because one of the things I want you guys to understand, hold on, and acknowledge is the setting up the corporate stuff is pretty easy or simple. But the most important thing, because essentially what we're going to get into is how to build businesses. That's when we're going to start the live Q&A and stuff and all this other stuff. Today is Tuesday. I may go ahead and do another because, essentially I've been creating training all day. And I'm not like, after this, I'm shutting it down for the day. So once we get into the how to start a company framework, and we'll get back into the live Q&As, because essentially I have done the Savage Financials, I've done the Art of Holding, and I've done the business credit, and that's been a lot. It's been a lot. So we're going to get back to probably the live trainings and stuff next week. So that's when we're going to get into that. So what I want to talk about, like for those of you who are interested, let me go ahead and drop into that. Hold on a second. Let's see. Let me get in there. Let's go ahead. Give me a second. Let's go ahead and get in there. All right. So let me go ahead and give y'all a little sauce, so to speak. All right. So let me go ahead and tell you what's going down with the Savage Financials. This is where the money management course, and this is where the normal credit course is. The game of credit, how to fix and max out your credit, money management for corporate citizens. And essentially you can get in there with this bundle because there's money management for civilians. Essentially you can get in that bundle. You can get all three for $150. And we're going to add some more financial type stuff there, because one of the things I want you guys to understand is I'm cleaning up my kitchen, man. I'm cleaning up my kitchen. So everything that makes sense and stuff is going to be where it needs to be. So this is where all of this stuff, right? And let me go ahead, and you can't do it like you can do it with Wirecast. You have to do it a little different. All right. So the Art of Holding, how to create your own conglomerate and bank. Links are below. Now, this is what's done. I did this today. The Business Credit Accelerator, how to ramp up your business credit. So all of this in there. So essentially what you will learn in this course, the dangers of buying age corps and seasoned trade lines, how to get business credit with good credit and high income, planning for the future, business credit strategy, types of business credit, vendor, retail, and cash, the importance of bank statements in the business credit world, business credit charge cards use and strategy, why you need to get what you need to get business loans from banks, how to develop business credit when you have bad personal credit, using your personal credit to prime the stage for business credit, how to use business credit to buy or lease trucks. So that's what's in the business credit. And essentially, I send out emails. If you're in the corporate citizen thing, I send out an email letting you know that where it is. And if you're in the corporate citizen, I put it where the credit mastery course would used to be. And we're going to get into it because this is one of the things that I have come to understand, and it's a little distressing. There are a number of videos on YouTube talking about business credit, how to get business credit, how to get net 30s, gas cards, and all this other stuff. And none of them, I think there's one who actually talks about how to do business, but they don't really get into the nuts and bolts of it, because let's go ahead and have this conversation. I've had people email me that they have bought courses for how to use age corporations, right? One dude spent $2,500 on a course for age corporations and seasoned trade lines. Here's what's really bad about that. It don't work. I saw a YouTuber who had mentioned that he had used an age corporation for his trucking business. And based upon my research and talking to people, that wasn't possible. So it would be one thing if they were just putting out information, but people are flat out lying. They're flat out lying to you about this age corporation and seasoned trade lines things. They're just straight up lying, because essentially, let me go ahead and kind of give you some background. When I created my first LLC and got business credit, it took me 6 months. There was a board online called creditboards.com, and they had the process detail. They shared, it was kind of like what was happening with the people over at Wall Street Bets. People were sharing information. And I went to that board, and I was able to create an LLC, get my net 30s, get my PAYDEX, and then get a business credit card, a Home Depot credit card, which was issued by GE Capital. I did that in 6 months. And because there's a lot of people who did this, there is echoes of that period in time, because this was like 2002. And you can't do that anymore. It doesn't work like that anymore. Those tactics don't work for, like in the business credit course, I talk about vendor credit, I talk about retail credit, and I talk about cash, which would consider credit cards, lines of credits, and loans. And this doesn't work anymore for getting cash. Now, there's probably a section I'm gonna put there tomorrow about how to use this tactic to get to a cash. But I see many folks are out here thinking that you can use business credit in lieu of bad personal credit. That doesn't work. At one point in time, that worked. You could do it. Like literally, I was just shocked at how fast that I had built my business credit and got a credit card with no PG. They never had my Social Security. At one point, you could have had tore up, jacked up, messed up personal credit And then you could have got multiple business credit cards that would have never reported to your personal credit report unless you defaulted. And actually, I know of a case of someone who suffered a horrible accident and he defaulted on his business credit cards and they never reported to his personal credit. You want to know why? They never had his social. So one of the things that what is all this stuff? There is nothing wrong with my nose. There ain't nothing wrong with my nose. Stop it. So there are people who are giving this information out and they're lying because it's no longer true. 2002 when the Great Recession happened, this changed all the banking rules. And a lot of those early credit products disappeared. Yeah, a lot of YouTube ads are crazy because it's funny. Yep, a lot of those YouTube ads are not converting because I actually watched some and I'm just sitting there like, pretty much. Omega Curry, thanks for the $14 super chat. So I'm here to say, because essentially I'm in here to give you the real sauce. First thing, you're not going to build substantial business credit in a few months. It ain't happening. If you can start with no business credit and get to substantial business credit in a year, that's good. Now, I got to $150,000 worth of business credit since September, October, November, December, January, February, now March. I did it in 7 months. Now, why was I able to get $150,000 in business credit in the 7 months? Because I have a business that makes money. I got my Divvy charge card, which has a 100K limit. That's my highest business credit card limit. And they go off of the money that's in my bank. They raised my limit as my bank balance went up. I got an email. It's like, hey, due to your bank balance going up, we're going to raise your credit limit. If you want it, just say yes to this email. And then I got a $25,000 Wells Fargo secured credit card. And I got a $25,000 Topago charge card. So $150,000 in business credit funding in 6-7 months. Now, here's the thing. I really don't need the business credit. That's why it was so easy to get. And right now you have people out here who are thirsty for business credit. And they're out here going out and getting Grangers, Uline, Quill, Fleet Gas. They're getting a whole bunch of crap they don't need and not going to use in order to hopefully get to the business cash credit cards, which more than likely they're not going to get there. Yes, those banking rules are changing again. There are many banking rules. And a lot of people, because like I'm here to say, if you feel that you could go out and buy an Age corporation for $2,000 to $10,000, and then you feel that you can go out and get some seasoned trade lines, then go to a bank and walk out with a funding, let me tell you what you're facing. First of all, to get my EDL loan, I got $150,000 from the government. You know what they wanted to see? Bank statements. They wanted to see bank statements. So you feel that you're going to go out and buy this Age corporation, buy some seasoned trade lines for $10,000 to $15,000, and then go to the bank and get 6 figures in funding. It ain't going to happen. And these people who are telling you can do this, they're lying to you. They're lying to you. And essentially, when someone is saying you can get an Age corporation, you can do all this stuff, and they never tell you their business name. Like one dude, He just flat out lied. He said, I used an age corporation to do this for my old company. He was lying because you can't do it. It ain't going to work. He was straight up lying to get clicks. And I'm like, this week, this is just Tuesday, and I'm already in the mood because I'm seeing so much stuff with this business credit, and I'm seeing people. I actually saw someone saying they're getting a self loan, a credit builder loan was a bad idea. I've seen all kinds of foolishness, but essentially, getting business credit without the business can be hard. It can be really, really hard. I saw an ad was due about 30K in one day. I was immediately pissed. I wish these people would stop capping. I've seen those ads because essentially this is right in line with you can develop all of this business credit with an age corporation with seasoned trade lines. It's the same kind of crap because I saw something where people were literally going from nothing to $30,000 in a day within a month or two. All right. That's just not going to happen. And plug into this system. You don't have to do no selling. You don't have to be techie. You don't have to pull up a web. You don't have to do any of this stuff. And one of the things that pisses me off, if people were told the truth, they would not be wasting a bunch of time messing around with these scams. Well, the name is, you can get your Facebook ad account banned very quickly, very, very quickly. I'm going to address that in a minute. That's funny. That's funny. I don't know anything about trucking. I'm not in the trucking business. y'all getting in. Glendon, David Diggums. I'm thinking about changing my insurance because recently I had a checkup, and I'm not real happy with my current insurance, so I got to do some research on that. I can show you how to make $1 billion within a week. All you have to do is just breathe. Pretty much, this is the whole thing. But this business credit thing, because essentially this is something that a lot of people are searching for. Because there's a channel where all he talks about business credit, and his videos have a lot of views, but he doesn't have a lot of subscribers, which tells me that they're finding him through search. And then there's this girl who's talking about how to develop business credit. And they're going off of that old template of the net 30s. I have $150,000 in business credit. I don't have a net 30. I don't have a Uline account. I don't have a Quill account. I don't have a Granger's account. I didn't do any of that, and I got business credit. I got business credit, and I didn't do any of that. So once, this is about putting out more information and yeah, I'm thinking about it because I got, like, essentially here's the thing, Rod. I am focused on building out the art of holding, and it's time consuming and it's a little draining, but I've got 2 sections done to get people started. But one of the things that pisses me off is I can understand if someone is, kind of spreading something they heard. But when I hear someone say that they actually did something that I know for a fact that they can't do, that pisses me off. They're just straight up lying. This one dude, Rich Wayne, I'll mention names. He lied. He said, "Oh yeah, I used an Age Corporation to do." You can't do that. You cannot do that. You cannot do what he said. Now everybody, because essentially, the average credit score is like 667 in America. So a lot of people have bad credit, and this is why there's this thirst for business credit. But here's the big issue with that. None of these people are talking about how to start and run a business. There's one, she kind of alludes because her channel has grown and she is a very nurturing, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. And the reality is, no, you can't. No, you can't. Because everyone's talking about business credit, but what about building a business? I'm getting, because one of the things I do on Savage Finance is I actually go out and get the products and stuff I talk about. I have a grain account. I have a self-lender account. I have the Wells Fargo Secure Credit. I actually go out and get this stuff. And so I actually know what I'm talking about. I know, man. And, this whole business credit thing, because essentially if people knew, like, I'm about to go ahead and, drop the sauce. If you have good personal credit and you have high income, you can get business credit very easily. I'm talking about American Express Platinum, Chase Inc., Capital One Spark. All of these business credit cards you can get real easy. Really, really easy. You just got to know a few things you can do. And if I helped someone do this recently, he makes $300,000 a year, has great credit, and we got him $1 million worth of business credit in 4 months. 4. But let's look at, well, he had good credit to begin with, and he had high income. He was shocked. See, most of this stuff on YouTube is for folks who have bad credit. And they're trying to go ahead and establish a business credit profile to have access to credit while their personal credit is trash. And, one of the things that people have got to understand is how you need to do this and how to play the game and how to structure yourself. What do you mean the money management course? All right. The money management course was free. Like, let me go ahead and say this. If you sign up for all of the free stuff or whatever, you still have access to it. It ain't disappeared. Like, essentially, one of the things that I am doing is prepping my company for the future, because when I started running paid ads, I realized that I had a lot of problems with my landing pages. So it ain't confusing. The money management course is at Savage Financials. And if you are in the corporate toolbox or the art of holding, I've already sent out an email every day. When people sign up, I send out an email. So it ain't confusing. It ain't really confusing at all. So it should be accessible. I don't know what's going on with your phone. That's funny. Yes, once again, the Age Corporation thing stopped working a long, long time ago. And this dude in the video said he used an Age Corporation for his trucking company. And I was just like, really, bruh? Pretty much. You should have access to it. I don't know what's going on with your phone, because essentially you can log into these courses on your phone. So I don't know what's going on. Yes. The tellers are really, Kevin Davis, that is a point because I didn't, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it today, but I got to do my other ATM video because I have six figures in my personal checking. And I went in the bank to do some stuff today, and they're really nice to you when you sitting on funds. They're really, really nice. That's 100% true. But I'm just like kind of sick and disgusted with all of this crap on YouTube, and understand that's what people are looking for. They're looking for business credit funding. They're looking for it. And this was kind of an issue because, like, I put up a video on Savage Finance that started off in the crapper. It started off as a, when you do a YouTube video, you can go on your dashboard and see it's going to be ranked 1 of 10. And it started off like 8 out of 10 this morning. Now it's a 2. So it's been moving up because essentially I'm getting ready to do a lot of different content. All right. Also, for my cryptocurrency people, when I do a video and I don't mention cryptocurrency and you put some cryptocurrency comment, you will be deleted. You will be blocked. I've already made my points and my feelings on cryptocurrency. Y'all ain't going to just force me. Y'all ain't going to hog tie me. Y'all ain't going to take the channel hostage because someone made a comment. Well, I left up a real, like, whenever I ask you crypto people how much money you made, I never get an answer. I always get percentages. You know why? Because percentages hide underperformance. So if I'm doing a video and I'm not talking about cryptocurrency and you want to put one of those comments up there, it will be deleted. You will be blocked. You're welcome. Yeah, I mean, she's a very motherly, nurturing, super positive, but there's so, because I understand why she does it, because it grows her YouTube channel, and she doesn't blatantly lie to people, but she makes it seem to be way easier than it is. Because if you, like I said, if you have a good credit score, 720, and you have high income, you can get a lot of business credit funding really, really quickly. But once again, one of the reasons that these people are doing these business credit videos is because so many people have bad credit and they don't want to address it. Yep, they do look at you different. Yes, like there's a religious tenet around Bitcoin. And like I said, I am not going to do any more Bitcoin videos. I'm going to focus on building businesses, creating stuff. Like, the content is about to really, really change. And one of the things that we're going to get into with the business credit, because essentially there's levels. Like, once again, if you have a good credit score and you have high income, you can get business credit literally tomorrow. Literally tomorrow. And if you have a business that's making money, and I got a section in there because I helped someone who has bad personal credit, and he had a business for 5 years, and we were able to get him $250,000 worth of business credit based upon his business performance, because his business is making money. He just went through a bad divorce, and it messed up his personal credit because there was some stuff that went down. Stuff happens. So if you have an active business, you have bank statements, tax forms, you can get business credit. You just got to shop around. So one of the things that I'm sick and tired of hearing is it's easy. Once again, if you have high income, great credit, getting business credit is very easy. If you don't have a high income and a great credit score, getting business credit is challenging. It can be challenging. And one of the things that, because I've got a list of videos I'm going to do, because there is a number of YouTube ads that are flat out lying and they're not going to perform well if you buy these products. Just not. So one of the things that I'm getting ready to do is I'm creating a different level of content. I am creating a different ethos, so to speak, talking about business, starting a business, because like I said in my video, a lot of these industries like Amazon, like let's talk about Amazon FBA. Years and years ago, if you got an Amazon FBA, you could have started with $500 and scaled up to six figures in a year. You want to know why? There was no competition. And what happened to Amazon FBA is going to happen to Airbnb. It's going to happen to trucking. I was doing a consulting call with a client who works for FedEx, and he said FedEx is taking a hit because of all these new trucking companies. FedEx has taken a hit. He said, oh yeah, we taking a hit. This is just the beginning. Give it 5 years. And right now it is pretty much just go out, get a truck, get a driver, start booking loads. That's going to become what happened to Amazon FBA is going to happen to trucking. It's going to happen to Airbnb. It's going to happen to a lot of these other easy business models. Essentially, if you're trying, the new money management course was never free. And essentially, let me go ahead and tell you what's happening. You can no longer get anything at Hustlers Kung Fu. You can no longer get any of the free courses. I'm not doing free courses anymore. If you didn't get it when it was free, you missed out. Because essentially, I am restructuring my business. So all of the free stuff is gone. All of the free courses. I put out a new money management course that, in my opinion, is better than the old money management course because it's better organized. It makes more sense and you can get through it really quickly. So like, hey, that it was free for years, bro. Sorry you missed out, but we're not doing the free stuff. We're not doing the courses. We're not doing any of that. So you can just go ahead and get to the new money management course. Essentially, the gig economy is running. One of the things that I've noticed is with my assistant who's out of town this week because she had a death in the family. One of the things I have noticed with our research on YouTube is that people are looking for fast, quick, easy things. And when it comes down to building a business where you can have a heart attack and come back and your business still making money even though you ain't working, there's not a lot of information on YouTube about building businesses like that. Grant Cardone used to put out some stuff like that. Valuetainment used to put out some stuff like that. But because people are not interested, people are not making that content. And I have to mentally adjust myself to make that content because I already know my views going to go down. I already know my views are going to go down. And I have a thesis. I feel that if I start putting up better upper tier content, I'm going to draw the appropriate people. We're going to get rid of the Bitcoin crowd. Like you want to invest cryptocurrency, bless your little heart, knock yourself off. I'm teaching people how to start businesses that make money. That's what I'm about. That's what I'm doing. Why is it that people don't like skill? Because it's looked down upon. Versus becoming an electrician, a plumber, an HVAC tech, people would rather do DoorDash, Instacart, or work in a restaurant because that seemed to be a little bit better than making six figures a year. It's the marketing department. Like right now with Airbnb, I was listening to someone on a podcast, and he has a car rental business. He's doing Airbnb, and you'll see the same business models. The chick who talks about business credit, she's doing Airbnb, And I, I'm here to tell you, it's only a matter of time before Airbnb becomes saturated. It's only a matter of time before it becomes saturated. And everyone's trying to do these, what I like to call template businesses. There are many people who are selling Amazon FBA courses. You know, Amazon FBA has a 97% failure rate. 97, because essentially, and now what they're trying to do is move people over, because Walmart is doing what Amazon did, where you could put stuff on their website and then sell it. And essentially, if you're going to do e-commerce, I'm going to tell you, you're better going ahead to Shopify, getting your own website and learning how to run traffic and define your audience than getting into an Amazon FBA, because it's going to be way cheaper, it's going to be way easier, and it's going to be more satisfying. It's just going to be more satisfying because, like, you know, with this business credit thing, it's a big cycle. Because, like I said, there's a guy here on YouTube. He's doing these business credit videos. Videos are getting like 20, 30, 40, 50,000 views, but he only has like 3,000 or 4,000 subscribers, which tells me that people are finding his videos through search. There's another one that was talking about, you know, her video was like how to get business credit fast. Let's talk about that. Why are we trying to do all of this stuff so damn fast? Like me, I am perfectly content with it taking me a year or two to build business credit. You want to know why? Because I'm building my business credit before I actually need it. See, this is one of the big issues. Everybody is like last minute Larry. Instead of, you know, the book, digging your well before you're thirsty and doing stuff proactively and doing stuff in advance, it's like, okay, just like when I put out that video, like, you know, if you had a business, you should get the EDL loan and the people. And it's like, well, man, you know, the website's down. I'm like, you should have had your LLC. You should have had your EIN. You should have had that. What are you waiting on? You waiting on Santa Claus to come say, hey, Christmas is here now? I mean, what are you waiting on? Muhammad, that's pretty much it, man. Pretty much it. Oh, here's the thing with housing. Do you know that they've increased the forbearance program to 18 months? So this is going to push the housing crash off into 2022 and 2023. Because what this kicking the can down the road thing. You got someone that's been living in a house for 18 months and they did not pay their mortgage. Let's see what we're looking at. So let's say they have a mortgage of $1,500 times 18. They're $27,000 behind on their mortgage. Now, we're going to see if there's going to be any federal legislation to actually, because, I mean, there's almost 3 million people in forbearance right now. And with this, I've not checked the unemployment numbers, but the economy, because we're still having like 700 to 800,000 people filing for unemployment for the first time. This has been going on for literally 7, 8 months. And if we keep going on the rest of the year with that, we're going to see the number of people who enter into the forbearance process, more and more people. More and more people. Hey man, you could be a plumber. Like right now they're paying plumbers $90 an hour. Yes, it is a stigma. Household debt to GDP has exploded. It's higher than 2008 recession. Historically, that's already preceded a deep recession. Pretty much. Because if you look at the numbers, the unemployment numbers are higher than the 2008 recession. Way higher. Not like, because at the height of the Great Recession, unemployment benefits peaked at like 600,000. Unemployment has been 200 to a million something higher than at the peak of the Great Recession. So it's not going to get any better, man. I looked at the data. The housing bubble is massive. This is why this forbearance, because essentially one of the things that I have seen, and it kind of goes with this business credit thing, that people don't want to do the right things. And I'm going to teach you guys how to set up your business correctly and to set it up on a firm foundation versus building your business on a beach, a sandy beach. With a nonprofit, actually, because it's a nonprofit doesn't mean that it doesn't make profit. If it's a business and it has revenue and all this other stuff, you can leverage business credit. I mean, what you're going to see, I have a prediction that the crazy housing prices, because a lot of people who bought houses for 200,000, their houses now are appraising at 300,000. So it's really challenging to find a house for 200,000. It's impossible to find a house for 150. And you're going to see between the number of people who over leverage themselves with Airbnb, the bad investments, when the market crashes, it's going to be ugly. Unemployment only hit 8% in 2008. That was the peak. Like I said, it's been way higher than that. I mean, once again, this is one of the reasons that so many people are searching for business credit. They're looking, because, in my YouTube mastermind, because I have a philosophical problem. Parts of me know what I can do to get more views. But that's the antithesis of many of the things that I hold dear and I know to be true. Like, I'm not going to do videos on like how to get all this credit when you got to pay the bill. I rather do videos teaching, like I'm really pleasantly surprised at that video, really, because when it started out like 8 and then it went to a 2, I was like, whoa, okay, this looks good. So the content's going to change. We're going to talk about some different stuff. And I know that it's a journey that I got to go through because, I wouldn't have made this journey. You can find $150,000 houses in Florida. You can in Georgia, man. It's real hard. Cheap money is all that's keeping prices high. People buy based on payment, not price. Wait until interest rates go up and grab some popcorn. That's going to be interesting because interest rates have been artificially depressed for over a decade. People are addicted to these low interest rates. The real pain is coming after they stop kicking the can down the road. House deals won't happen in mass till they happen. I pretty much agree with that, Rod, for real estate, because that's why I said the housing, major house, it ain't gonna happen in 2021. It's not going to happen in 2021. It's going to happen 2022, 2023, like you said, when they stop kicking the can down the road. As long as they keep kicking the can down the road, we're not going to see these deals. They're just not going to happen. We may have like Miami, and you can Google this. Miami property prices went up almost 30% in 2020 because everyone's leaving Silicon Valley, they're leaving New York, and they're moving to South Beach. One of the most consistent housing markets seems to be the fixer uppers in urban areas because no matter how much you put into them, they will only be worth so much. This is one thing I've noticed that certain houses in certain markets never really appreciate. I mean, there are houses like South Georgia, like out in the middle of nowhere. They're super cheap for a reason. No, there ain't no training tonight. Like your training is the business credit course, which you have access to tonight, and we'll be talking about that because we'll probably get into because essentially I want to build out the art of holding. I got the business credit. Tomorrow I'm going to work on the corporate banking, and then we're going to get into the live training for of building how to build your business because that's going to be the most intensive things, like the things you need to do to build your business. Same thing happened in Phoenix. Rent prices are going through the roof right now. I've seen that. I've seen that. So I don't think we're going to have a big housing crash in 2021 because they can be in forbearance for 18 months. They can be in forbearance for 18 months. So what's going to happen? Because one of the things I noticed is the death rate in nursing homes has come way down because they're getting these elderly people vaccinated. So once we start to I'm predicting that around Christmas time, we're going to have a lot of people I'm really thinking, I know there are all these jokes that you take this vaccination. I'm thinking about taking the dual dose vaccination because it's more effective than the one dose. And I'm thinking about taking that. I got to do some research and look into where I can get that done. But once we get that massive level of vaccination, we will start to move back to normal. And I'm predicting that's going to happen Christmas time and in the beginning of 2022. I feel that right now we have this $1,400 stimulus check thing that's now going to the Senate. So I feel that there's going to be probably another stimulus package after this one. Once they get this one passed, if they can get it passed. Well, I'm going to go on data, Carter. The number of people in nursing homes who have died from the virus has dropped considerably, and that's who they're vaccinating. So it may not keep you from getting the virus, but it's keeping people from dying. So that's what I'm looking at. So we will see, man. We will see. So once again, the business credit thing is done. I teach you how to get business credit with bad credit, and also something else that I've never seen a YouTube video on. You can use the Net 30 process and actually lease a truck from Ryder or buy a Ford or Dodge truck. I've not seen this. This is something I knew from my first business credit building venture because there was a whole bunch of people on the credit boards who were rolling out with F-250s and stuff. And essentially, I never bought a truck because I needed a box truck. Because, when you buy a 10 by 20 full from the rooter to the fooder, you need a box truck, a pickup truck and a trailer. There was a lot of guys that made that work, but I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. I like the box truck, being able to load it up and not worry about if it got rained on and stuff like that. Well, you don't see the point in getting it. I'm thinking about getting it. Check with the VA. I was getting the Pfizer 2 shot. Okay, I'll look into that because I know that there's all kinds of stuff out here that you're going to turn into a horse and all this other stuff. But I worked in the medical field, and as someone who had a heart attack and went through that whole medical process, I'm going to believe in the medical field. I know that a lot of folks don't, and as the Hodge twins used to say, you going to do what you want. So I'm looking into that because, I mean, I really, really don't want to get that crap. I mean, honestly. So I will look in that. Thanks to DSLR Chronicles. So tomorrow we're going to get into the corporate banking and we're going to get into, I don't know, because my head is spinning because essentially creating educational curriculums is mentally exhausting. And that's why there's no training tonight. So we will see, man. We will see because more than likely I'm going to go ahead and get it. I'm going to go ahead and get it. But, you know, once again, the content on this channel is going to dramatically change. I know that I'll have a lot of people who want the hustling, quick money stuff. And that's not what I do, man. I don't do that. I don't do that, man. So we're going to be talking about, and we're going to get into some real business stuff. Like this week, I got a heavy week with creating training. And then when we go ahead and get some meat into the art of holding, and then I have not even touched the YouTube Super Creative because I've been working on the Savage Financials because I knew that I can get that done pretty quick. Then the art of holding, and now the business credit. Because, you know, people are going in there. And here's the thing. What is better? If you could start a service business or something that makes you an additional $1,500 a month, that would be better than business credit. That would be better than crypto investments. Because at $1,500 a month, that's $18,000 a year. There are not many people who can start with a minimum investment and make that kind of return. So that's really, really good. And we're going to have a conversation about money and income and all these other things because one of the things I want to talk about is building a legacy and other things. Like, so for everyone that's in the corporate system, you know, we'll resume the live trainings probably next week because this week I got to build out some stuff and because I got people hungry and waiting. So I got to build that out. And like I said, it's pretty intense because essentially I feel that I have a better process and I will be able to get the art of holding built out mostly this month in March. So that's going to be a better deal for people. And you can go in and do what you need to do. Yes, building your legitimate businesses. Because essentially, one of the things I've checked, there's no one really talking about building legitimate businesses. There's all of this stuff where everyone's trying to do the template business. Now, I will say, I wish that I had got into stocks because anyone that is doing stock training is making a mint. They're making a mint because everyone's getting into stocks. Everyone's looking to do options trading and stuff. And I don't really know anything about it, so I'm not going to speak on it. I'm not going to do any training on it because I don't know anything about it. But I wish, you know, this is fun fact. When I was a little boy, it was my dream to be a stockbroker. That was what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to an Ivy League college, then go to Wall Street. And that didn't work out. It didn't work out at all. I ended up joining the military and then going to the University of Chaminade for a minute and then coming out the military, getting married, starting a family, and none of that happened. None of that was realized. So, you know, it's very interesting that the stock thing is super, super huge right now. It is massive what's going on with stocks, stock training, options, and all this other stuff. So, you know, everyone in stocks because it's clean work. Hey, it is really clean. It is clean and it's sexy. You roll out of bed, you go into your office, you turn on your computer, you hit your stocks, you hit your charts, you do your Fibonacci, your analysis and stuff, and you do your picks and go on about your day. So it is really it's clean. And I kind of regret because essentially that was that was kind of the plan to do that as a career years and years ago, and I never actually got into it. I was in the stock market when I was in the storage auction business for a little bit, but yeah, I did that for a little bit. But because I was saving 50% of my income, my stock portfolio was looking really nice because I was throwing in so much money every month. But, I'm going to have to start investing before I can talk about investing on the Savage Finance. And we've got so much stuff to do before we even get to that. There's so much stuff to do. There's so much work to be done. But yeah, so essentially, I'm going to give you the truth on how to do business credit, how to set up your business credit for people who want to build stable, decent business credit portfolios. Because I break down once again, if you got good credit, business credit, getting it is fairly easy. Bad credit gets tricky. You can buy, there's so many things you can do, but one of the things that is disheartening is how many people are looking as business credit as a replacement for trash personal credit. Because that's what's really, really driving this. Really, really driving this. And I'm not mentioning her name because, like I said, I know what she's doing. I know why she's doing it. And she is mostly harmless compared to some people who are flat out lying. There's some people who are flat out lying because this one dude said he got an age corporation. And I was like, bruh, no, you didn't, because that don't work. You can't do that. So once again, that's all I got for you guys. If you want to become a part of the Art of Holding, and just go below, the links below, and give us 24 to 48 hours if you get on the payment plan to add you to that. And I will see you guys tomorrow or the day after. I don't know. Just depends. All right, everyone, have a good evening. Thanks for who knows, man? Who knows? All right, so everyone have a good evening. Appreciate you for joining me. I will talk to you guys later.